What's up, y'all? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm starting a series that I kind of talked about in one of the previous videos on the channel. It was 2 videos ago. It was my top 25 movies of all time, and I mentioned how I was going to be making more videos about movies and different things like that. And I also mentioned how I was going to be doing a little series with some of the people in my life, my family, my friends, different people. Maybe the Seal, if it has any favorite movies. And I'm just going to ask them, like, what are their top 10 favorite movies? I'm going to watch the top 10, which I'll admit that I didn't watch some of them that I've seen multiple times. I didn't feel the need to. And then I'm going to give them a rating on 1 to 10 and then get a total score out of 100 just to see how my movie taste lines up with these people. So first off, of course, I have to start with my wife, Destiny. We really have a similar taste in movies overall. We watch movies pretty often together. That's something that we do a lot together, is watch movies, watch TV, just enjoy different things and talking about those, which today is our 6-month wedding anniversary, so happy anniversary, baby. I love you. I'm thankful for these last 6 months with you and all the fun movies and TV shows we've got to watch together. It's been a blast. But anyways, I just want to say this, and I'll probably say this at the beginning of all of these videos. If one of these movies gets a low score, or if somebody overall gets a low score, one, I hope that doesn't hurt their feelings, but I don't think it will, because my opinion is not gospel, obviously. But also, it's just like, that's not me saying that I don't think that these movies should or should not be in someone else's top 10. It's just my opinion on the movie, and anyone has a right to their opinion. The 10 worst movies, my 10 least favorite movies I've ever seen, they could be in someone else's top 10, and that's fine. That's their top 10. That's their list. I'm just rating how much I enjoy them and kind of how similar our tastes are. I did my top 25, and I bet there are a lot of movies in there that maybe if you watched that video, you were like, "What? Why is this in this guy's top 25?" And that's fine if you felt that way. If you question that, that's fine, but that's my top 25, and that's my opinion, and just like this is this person's opinion, and I'm not bashing their opinion. I'm just looking at these movies, right? So I talked about how much I sucked at narrowing it down. Destiny didn't do quite as bad as me on narrowing stuff down, and I appreciate her doing it because I know it was kind of tough for her. So thank you for doing that, Dest. Here's some honorable mentions that I'm going to honorably mention: Mamma Mia, Inside Out, the Lizzie McGuire movie, The Parent Trap, The Longest Ride, and 50 Shades Freed. I'm going to get into her top 10 favorite movies. I'm going to start with 6 movies that I had already seen before doing this video. I did refamiliarize myself with these movies, but I did not rewatch them because I've seen all of them. One of them I've only seen once, but it was very recent. Or 2 of them I've only seen once, but it was very recent. And the other 4 I've seen a handful of times, so I didn't feel the need to. First of all, we have Mamma Mia 2. Here we go again. Mamma Mia made her honorable mention, and I'm just going to say this, that I agree with Destiny that this is better than the original. The songs are more fun. The flashbacks and between the younger and older cast is so fun, and for the most part, they're pretty well cast. I think they're so fun. I love all the young actors. And it's just cool getting to see them and the dynamic and everything. And the last time Destiny and I watched this, I did tell her my one complaint is that I feel like it gets a little convoluted at the end, specifically with Andy Garcia and Cher's characters. Nothing against them. It's just their whole dynamic, their characters, their relationship just felt unnecessary. And my other complaint is, who's going to believe that Cher is old enough to be Meryl Streep's mom? I think there's like a 3-year age gap between them. But I digress. This is a fun pick-me-up movie and makes me want to go to Greece with Destiny, and it's just my personal favorite number from the movie, if you're curious, is Waterloo. I think it's so fun. Obviously, Dancing Queen is always going to be the best, and Mamma Mia is fun as well. And there's some good ones in the first movie too, but I think Waterloo is just such a fun whole scene in that movie. So I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. And I'll add up the score at the end. Spoiler alert, I already gave the score, so I already have it added up because my phone's over there, so I don't know how I would add that up, right? I'm not going to do that in my head. So next up is one of the best Pixar movies it almost made my top 25 Coco. And saying one of the best Pixar movies, that says a lot. It's definitely in my top 5 Disney/Pixar movies. The songs are just so much fun. Remember Me and Destiny and I love Un Poco Loco. We play it in the car and just sometimes, and it's just so fun to sing it together. And the voice work from specifically Benjamin Bratt and Anthony Gonzalez and Gael Garcia Bernal is so well done. The animation is just beautiful. I mean, it's Pixar, so obviously it's going to be, but just the world of the dead, the land of the dead, is just so beautifully depicted, and the flower petals and all the different things. Oh, wonderful. Overall, great movie. Also a 9 out of 10. So, next up, we have a movie that actually made not only my top 25, my top 10 as well. And it's the movie on this list that I've definitely seen the most. It is Elf. And it's in the thumbnail. I know because I already made the thumbnail. And so I'm going to keep this review fairly short because I talked about it in mine. I think Elf is the funniest movie ever. It has hilarious bits, great physical comedy. It has quotable lines. Will Ferrell is just amazing in this movie. I mean, the supporting cast is really good too, with James Caan and who else is in this movie? Bob Newhart and Ed Asner and Zooey Deschanel and Mary Steenburgen. It's just a great movie. 10 out of 10. So Destiny's coming in pretty strong so far, and so far this is the lowest rating one, but it's still a very high rating, is The Holiday. I've seen The Holiday twice, both of the last 2 Christmas seasons with Destiny, and it's definitely now one of my Christmas favorites. Everyone loves a good swapping places movie. I mean, it's just, those are always going to be fun. Freaky Friday, Parent Trap, The Holiday, which I know they're swapping places in a different way, and I realize that, but a swapping places movie is always fun. Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet are awesome. Jack Black is Jack Black. Jude Law is just so dreamy, obviously. It's memorable characters and just a fun premise. What more could you ask for? It's a good Christmas movie. I think it's a sweet rom-com, even if it wasn't during Christmas, and the fact that they made it during Christmas/New Year's just makes it that much better. This is a must-watch for Destiny and I every year now. 8.5 out of 10. Next up, another movie that actually made my top 25 is Barbie. Can you see that? Yeah, I feel like that is saying enough, or it says enough about this movie, right? I don't know what else I can say. It's a great commentary on society. It's hilarious. It's honestly a very stunning movie as well, which I didn't talk about much in my review. It's just like, it's so fun to look at. Wonderful performances. 10 out of 10 for Barbie. Or I guess this is Ken, but that's okay. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. This is an S-tier rom-com. If you watch my last movie, you know I love me some Matthew McConaughey. He's probably my favorite rom-com actor. Kate Hudson is like the rom-com queen of the 2000s, so you put them together, perfection. And I think what really makes the rom-com is 2 things, which I talked about in my video. The chemistry of the leads, which is so evident here, in the concept. What sets up their meeting, what makes them fall in love, what else is going on. And trying to win a bet is one of the best, most classic rom-com tropes, but having both of them trying to win a bet, or I know Kate Hudson wasn't necessarily trying to win a bet, but it was more for work, but similar thing. She was trying to win something, but just having it on both sides is so clever. 9 out of 10. So Destiny's is coming in pretty strong here so far. Next were 3 movies that I had never watched, so I watched them with Destiny after I began this little project. Next is Breakfast at Tiffany's. So this is my Destiny's favorite movie, and I understand why. It's the perfect mix of classy and romantic and relatable and funny, just like Destiny. And I'd obviously heard of this movie, but I don't think I actually knew what it was about at all. It's a fairly simple story, but it's exactly what it needs to be. Audrey Hepburn gives probably one of the best movie performances ever. Moon River has a very special name in my heart, and I now want to kind of get a cat and just name it Cat, because I think that is just so funny. And overall, this is like iconic, classic rom-com, classic movie, and I give it a 9 out of 10. So, next we have the movie Safe Haven, which Destiny and I watched together with Julianne Hough and Josh Duhamel and Kobe Smulders, and those are the only people I can think of off the top of my head. And this movie is interesting because it has not one but two plot twists. Both of them are pretty decent. I won't spoil it, even though I know this movie came out a while ago, just because there's no reason. I don't need to say what it is. But the one at the very end of the movie literally changed like the entire genre of the movie, which is always funny to me when movies do that. Like when it was aliens the whole time, or it was all a dream. It's like, and it changes the whole genre of the movie. It's always funny to me. But it's about a sweet movie about love and being a parent, and it's a good movie for what it is. I enjoyed watching it, but I'll only give it a 6.5 out of 10. Next up, we have another Nicholas Sparks movie, and this is like the prototypical Sparks movie. It's a fine watch. It's The Last Song. The story is different enough to keep you intrigued and it's fun that Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth, I know it didn't work out, but it's fun that they actually fell in love while filming this movie. I think that's always sweet. It's fun. It's a good movie, and I'm not trying to be a hater, but Miley Cyrus's acting is not great in this movie. It's passable. It's good enough, but it's definitely, I would say, the weak point in this movie. And this is the lowest rated movie here that I have on this list for Destiny, and it was a 5.5 out of 10. So slightly above average. Like I didn't dread watching it. I thought it was fine. It held my attention, but maybe not one I would revisit unless Destiny wanted to, because I do what I'm told. Now, this last movie, I had seen it before, but I wanted to save it for last just because of how funny it is that this is in Destiny's top 10. And if you don't know, I want you to guess what movie it is right now. A movie that would be funny that it's in Destiny Wilson's top 10 favorite movies is The Hangover. It's definitely a hilarious movie, obviously. It has a simple yet effective premise of a bachelor party, Vegas. Like, that's pretty basic. But the way it just goes absolutely off the walls, one thing leads to another, which leads to another, which leads to another, and it just keeps going. But it definitely, I don't think it gets convoluted personally. It's just there's always something else, which is funny. It's one of the best comedy movies of the 21st century. It's iconic, obviously, and it makes jokes that you weren't sure if it could make. And it's just such an adventure because so much stuff keeps happening, like I said. And I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. So I have my total here. I lied. I said I wasn't going to add it up. I am actually just going to add it up real quick. I'm going to pull up a calculator, though. You can make fun of me if you want, but I just want to make sure this is correct, and I'll talk while I do. So I'm going to add up a 9 for Mamma Mia 2. Here we go again. A 9 for Coco. A 10 for Elf. Nope, that's not right. Backspace that. A 10 for Elf. Another 10 for Barbie. Oh, I just X'd out of my thing where I had my rankings, but I can remember. A 9 for How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. A 9 for Breakfast at Tiffany's, and then this is where it might tank it just a little bit. A 6.5 for Safe Haven, and only a 5.5 for The Last Song, and then an 8.5 for The Hangover. Gets us to... Oh, hold on, guys. I left one out. Where did I miss? What did I miss here? Oh, I forgot to add plus 8. I knew that wasn't right. 8.5 for The Holiday. Okay, I did have it correct. So you just sat here and listened to me stumble through that just to have it right the whole time. So the total score is 85 out of 100, which to me seems like it would be pretty good, but I guess this is the first video, so I really have absolutely no idea. But I mean, that's all I have to say. I love a lot of these movies. I enjoyed all of these movies, just to varying degrees. I love my wife. I enjoy my wife, and I love watching movies with her, and I enjoy watching movies with her, and I can't wait to watch more with her. And the next video for this one, I'm not 100% sure who it will be yet, just because they're on the lists that I've received so far from my family. There's a couple movies on all of them that I need to watch, and so it just depends how quickly I can watch those movies. But I'll give you a sneak peek. It will probably either be, I guess this isn't a sneak peek, it's just me giving you a 50-50. It will probably either be my mom or my brother, Sawyer. So it's going to be one of those two. And, I mean, that's all I have for you right now. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.